Hi, welcome to Potentials. This is Leja, and I am here with my friend Jerred Murphy, who is a very talented musician, drummer, and the name of his band, which I really love, is called Stolen Cable. Um, and he and I are going to be working on a music project together too, where I've written a few songs, and he's going to be playing the instruments and helping me out with that. So looking forward to that. But most of all, I just wanted to, connect with you and allow you to tell your story. If you were like 5 years ago, would if I were to say, where would you be in 5 years? Are you happy with where you're at now? What would you say?
I'm very happy with where I'm at. 5 years ago, I worked for a gentleman installing office furniture, and I hated my job. I hated it so much. This stuff is so heavy. Uh, it's
Yeah.
more or less a moving company. You're moving potentially everyone in this building's office to a new location. It was just not something that I was really into. But I did develop a very hard work ethic, and I learned a lot from those guys, but I don't miss it. um, I went to school for music, and I'm about two-thirds of a band director. Um, and I play in a bunch of bands and stuff. But yeah, you know all about that.
Yeah.
But I do the garage band thing, and I'm also a classically trained percussionist. Um, but where I'm at now, I'm a carpenter now, went a whole different direction. Um, but I'm a weird, I've kind of, I'm into some weirdo woo woo spirituality stuff. And I think I was drawn to be a carpenter. It's working with something that was alive, like I think of it as like the tree of life. I'm somehow master as I learn who I am and I'm working at this job. It's like navigating the tree of life in my weird metaphorical mind. But these things kind of came together at the same time. Uh, but the place I work now, they're very it's it's a difficult position to be in as like a creative artistic person in the manual labor world, right? I don't always jive with those guys. I don't always gel with them. But where I'm at now, like I'm wearing a musical theater shirt right now from uh, a gig I had playing for a children's musical theater thing, and
Oh, that's
I'll wear
awesome.
this shirt. Yeah, I love doing that too. Um, but I could have worn this shirt into one of my old jobs, and it would have been a heyday. They would have been having all kinds of jokes
All right.
because there's hearts on it. Which maybe where I wore stuff like that every day. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
let's preface that with you're in Oklahoma too, so that
yeah,
kind of makes a little difference.
big part of the picture here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I found a group of very awesome people who work with my schedule. As long as I get my 40 hours in, I can be off on Fridays, and that allows me time to pursue like I make little collages and stuff with the fall off, like the small pieces that come up of whatever we're making it work. I take home buckets of those little tiny pieces, and matter of fact, I've got some right here. They're just little triangles from some trim, but I hand painted each one a different color, and I'll put them
Wow.
all, And I'm in a place where I pay my bills. I've got everything I need to pay my bills, or at least almost. But I still have time to be me, and I have
Wow.
time to be a part of this group that you're involved in as well with Gen Z and all the amazing things we have going and what I feel is just around the corner. I'm not sure what that means, but there's
Right.
something with that it's just out of grasp. We're almost there.
I feel it. I definitely feel, like I said before, I feel like we're on the precipice of something monumental. I just
Yeah,
can't see it because it's like around the corner and we just can't see it from where we're at, but it's right there.
yeah, I'm I agree with that. And that great group of people that we deal with and everything that stemmed from that, like from that group. And it was something maybe I wouldn't have had time to be so involved in 5 years ago. But
Right.
now I've got all this time. I'm learning about quantum physics and all these things I never pictured myself even really having any interest in, let alone diving in like I have and like all of us have. Um, but I don't know. I get to be me. I think that's the biggest thing is I can, no matter where I'm at, whether it's home or work with my friends, I'm in a place where I can be the same person around everyone 365 days a year, and I've more or less always done that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be a certain person around your colleagues, and I'm just weird old me all the time. I'm hopping around the cabinet shop singing some 90s R&B and making everyone smile. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's just
I,
it's good to love life and like have something to look forward to. I don't
right.
have anything. I just went through a hell of a time. My ex fiance and I split up, and I quit taking my antidepressants for a minute and kind of lost my mind. But now I feel a lot better. I will say, now that I'm not on them, I'm learning to process things like you probably should. You probably shouldn't be putting it. I don't know. I think there's a healthy mix. I don't. I think I needed them for a while, maybe, but then I ended up on them too long,
Mm.
and I think that almost brought anxiety into my life, and just all those things that they're really not that far behind me, but they seem like they're just way like I'm a whole new person. Like I mean,
Almost
I've
like
been dead. It's
almost like
not
you
for
have
me.
more than one lifetime. Like, you've lived, now you're starting
Yeah,
another lifetime, so you get,
yes.
yeah, I feel
You
you.
you ever you ever meet those people that you're like, hey, it's nice to meet you, but I've known you for a long time, you know?
Yes, like we were
Yeah,
talking about the group we're in, like that's pretty much what
yes,
that's like. Pretty much everybody uh I've met in that group, we all kind of feels like we've known each other before. We've had a
yes.
lifetime together. It's very comfortable. Like, there's not very many people that you can talk to about anything, and just
Right.
feel like they're not gonna think that's too weird, or they're
Right.
not
Yes.
gonna, like, they're gonna relate to you in some way on that level. So that's
Right.
so cool.
Well, there's something to
Absolutely.
be said when so many brilliant people have all had these kind of weird experiences or believe in something that's maybe considered fringe or anything like that. I mean, these are brilliant people and there's something to it, you know? And when you meet this like we have with this group of people, everybody's kind of weird, but in their own beautiful way, right?
Yes,
And
it's
and
beautiful weird.
yeah, it's something cool to be a part of and to look forward to. And I don't at the same time I don't have to wake up in the morning and be like, oh damn it, I have to go to work again. I hate this. It's stupid. Like it's 105 right now in Oklahoma, but I'm still laughing out in the
Oh
shop.
God.
No air conditioning. I'm still laughing all day with those guys,
No air
having fun.
conditioning? What?
Just a It's just a fan. It's fine. I probably drink a gallon and a half of water a day.
Well, you should. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
But I mean, I love it. It could absolutely be worse. I've had jobs that I didn't like at all, and I was in the AC all day. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I'm learning that to an extent, it's what you make it, right?
Yeah. I was just
That's
gonna ask you that. Like, have you noticed that it's more about not what you're doing, not your job or what you're doing, but how you're feeling about it?
Yeah, yes, it's like that. I think you and I talked about just the perspective on even a day-to-day situation. If you just approach it from a different angle, come at it different, it can seem not so bad. I
Right.
mean, like that, I had
Actually
that blowout.
fun.
Yeah, I had that blowout yesterday, and I'm just laughing because I was in the worst place you could be off the side of the road, and it's like if I if I just take away the 2 days before this is funny and just make it funny now.
Yes.
It's not so bad.
That is perfect. That is, like, it's really about time. Like, it's perspective.
Yeah,
Like, if you could remove time from the equation and pull yourself out of time and just look at it
it's
like an observer, then you can just make it
yeah,
fun. Yeah, it could be funny.
yeah. because I mean, I shouldn't have driven on the highway with that tire. I knew it, you know. So there's no sense of me getting super mad.
Right. It was bound to
But
happen.
yeah, I had
Yeah.
to, and at least it happened not when I was on my way to work, or not when I was on my way to play drums at a church Sunday morning. I mean, something
Oh,
like that, because I get random church gigs all the
okay.
time, and I could have had that happen Sunday.
Yeah. I have had that happen on a Sunday before. Oh
The
man,
worst,
I had a car accident on a Sunday once that was not, yeah,
terrible,
yeah. It was,
terrible.
yeah, we were okay, but it was just, yeah, one of those things where you're like in a hurry and it's raining and you don't think anything's going to happen and then it does, and you just don't expect it. So,
But is this
yeah.
that car wreck you were talking about?
No, that was an interesting story. Yours is probably our stories are interesting here because they're so similar.
Dude,
Where yeah, it
yeah,
just they happened like totally so many years apart. Mine happened when I was 18 um and I was in a car that was going way too fast. I was riding next to the driver and he was 18 and he was trying to show off. And
right.
he showed off too well because we ended up doing a couple of rolls and landing on the roof. And I don't know how I got out. I don't remember physically getting
Yes.
out. The people behind me in the car, like in the back seat, thought that I died. They thought there's no way she could have survived that because they saw my head, where it went. And they thought I was going to get smashed like a tomato. And somehow I ended up outside of the car and nobody else was out of the car yet. And I didn't get thrown out of the car because if you look, it was smashed. Like there was only this much space that I could have crawled out of. I disappeared for a second.
Crazy.
But yeah, so it was, it's just weird. Like I got out, I was not facing the car. I had my back to the car, standing there in a daze, like, how did I get here? And
Yeah.
they came out and looked at me like, how did you get here?
Yeah.
it, it was, and I
Yeah.
was okay. I just had a little cut, I think I had a slight concussion. So yeah,
That's
crazy. So
wild.
your story was very similar, right?
Yeah. So, I was the car trying to merge onto the highway, and they started to merge right into me. This is during 5 o'clock traffic, so luckily we weren't going that fast. But he just was changing right into me, and so I cut left because I thought I could shoot this little gap to the uh, little grassy area in between lanes on the highway. Well, that lane was slowing down, so I clipped this truck, and going like 30 or 35, the truck flipped, and I went off into the ditch, and I had some broken ribs, and my last thought right before that impact was I heard this, and it's not even a thought; it was like an outer voice, right? Because I've spent a lot of time. I've learned where my inner thoughts come from. They come from the same place as my voice, right? So when I hear it coming from outside, and I heard something about not today, it's not the time, and I'm not even going to say I'm the one that jerked that wheel. I didn't jerk that wheel. Something jerked that wheel,
Yeah.
and there was a child in that truck, right? And if
Yeah.
that wheel hadn't been jerked, I would have hit right where that child was.
I know.
Yeah, but the kid got out totally fine, was walking, bouncing around. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. That was not an accident. That was not a coincidence. Yeah. I
no,
mean,
but
it was an
the
accident. Yeah.
the weirdest part was the guy when I kind of because I passed out for a second. When I woke up, there was a gentleman standing right outside my car window. This is seconds after, I imagine. Already standing outside my window with a fire extinguisher. My engine's on fire,
Oh,
and he's
wow.
already got it put out. And for the first couple seconds, I don't even know English at this point, or where I am, or what's going on. And my first thought was to make fun of this dude for his hairline. It was like I'd known this guy forever, and I wanted to be like, "Look at this crusty clown, look at both," but I didn't, and I don't know why. I just felt like I knew him so well. And then he says he helped me get out of the car without I don't know how to explain it without touching the car or entering the car. It's like I was out of the car. All of a sudden, I was just out. I fell out. And I was like, what the heck? Well, this guy, he says, you need to call your mom. And my mom happened to be driving by the
Uh,
area at the time. And he happened to, yeah, he knew this. And I said, I don't know where my phone is. It was way up under the driver's seat. He opens the door, reaches in, and goes right for my phone. Like he
wow,
knew where it was. He pulled
that's
my phone and called my mom because he handed me the phone. I couldn't do anything. I was like, I don't know, man. And he knew my passcode. He got into my
whoa,
phone. Yeah, he unlocked my phone, called my mom, all but gave her latitude and longitude to where we were at, you know.
wow,
And and then he was gone. And I don't mean he walked to his car and drove off. I mean, as soon as I saw lights and I heard sirens, he was just gone. I just turned
wow,
around and he was gone. And
that's
I you
great.
know, I was kind of the guy that if someone told me a story like that before this, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I don't think I'd believe the person.
Yeah,
But this was something I've never experienced anything like it. I mean, the guy was just gone. I
that's weird.
don't know. Yeah,
That's super cool though, because yeah, I mean, in my case, the who whatever happened, however I got out of the car, if it was an unseen force. I mean, it was something I
absolutely.
didn't see, or if I did, it was wiped from my memory because I don't have any
Oh,
memory of being pulled out, or it was like a splice of time was missing, like from the period
right.
of time that I was in the car with my head almost going toward to the direction of the window that got smashed. From that point to me standing outside is missing. I have no memory
That's
of that. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. So what there that means there's something with you at all times. You're one of those people that there's something with at all times,
Very
and either
well
this thing,
protected.
yeah, this
Yeah,
this entity either knew about this beforehand, which was probably the case,
yeah,
or it's supposed to rearrange things in time and pull you from the vehicle.
right.
You're here for
Yeah,
a reason.
I feel like if they're outside of space time. I feel like they
Yeah,
don't have to figure it out because they can see everything all at once. So
I think
it,
so.
I just think that's really cool, and
Yeah,
I want to be out of space time too.
yeah, for real. I'll have to quit worrying about being somewhere right on time.
Yeah, I just I want to see everything at once. I just think that would be super cool. Like, like
Absolutely. I
I
think that,
know we will, but it's just a
yeah.
matter of, yeah, it'll happen.
Okay. I wonder though, some people might potentially not be looking forward to that. Some people who have guilt or skeletons in their closet.
Right, but I think that it's something, even if you have something in your past that you don't want to revisit, or even if you have something that you're afraid of in the future, it's when you look beyond all of that and you look at the whole entire tapestry of
Yes.
your life and how that those little dark times fit in, it
You have to
actually
have,
it's actually beautiful, because you needed
yeah,
to have that to have other things happen. It's like
you have to.
you need, like when you're like anybody who's an artist, that you have to have dark and light in a drawing or a painting, or else it's just all one color and that's boring. There's nothing
Right.
to look at. Who wants a white canvas or a black canvas? You want other things in there to you have to have something, or there's no form, there's no shape if you don't have
For sure.
other colors or shades or whatever. So yeah, we need that.
Well, there's no darkness or there's no light unless there's darkness to birth it, you know?
And
I
yeah,
mean,
yes, you have to have both for in order for there to be form. There would be no shape or form without darkness and light. So it's
sure.
very important. Yeah.
And I think that I think you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be with this podcast, by the way. I think this is
Thank
your
you.
thing. Yeah.
I it is for now.
Yeah.
Who knows what I'll be doing it when I'm 120, but but for now, yeah. And I feel like it is what I'm supposed to be doing because I want to help everybody, like, make things happen right now. I want to accelerate it. I feel like the more we talk about it, the more we put it out there, the faster it can happen, the
For
sooner it can
sure.
happen. Even though I know there's no such thing as time.
Yeah,
But
we're still experiencing
I
it.
feel like we need to excel. Things are in a state of spin right now. It's and the spin is getting faster. It's what I'm feeling. And
Yes,
so we're building momentum and we need to go with that. And that's what this is about, is making it happen now, like now. Let's make these things happen now for everybody that needs it, and we all
for
need
sure.
healing. We all need healing. The planet needs healing. So let's make this happen. Let's manifest the healing now.
Yeah, for sure. I I think I'm out of stuff to say now. I think that sums it up.
Well, that's good because I mean, we're not out of time. We're still in time, but
Yeah.
we should be out of time, really.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
existential questions and thoughts of Lita and Jared. That's what we should call this. That's what this episode is.
There we
So
go. Heck
it
yeah.
was it was great having you on my podcast, and I will have you
Thank
back
you.
again because I think we there's always more to say, don't you think?
I agree. Absolutely.
Yes, there's
Absolutely.
always more to do. There's always more to say. There's always more to make happen. So
Yeah,
yeah, let's
for
make it
sure.
happen. And I will see you on the flip side.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye.